Welcome to Mailbag, the podcast that's banned any questions from the royal family. This week, I am joined by James, Matt Flusk, and Warren Doyle. Everton players at the ready. Favourite fictional female?
Jason Kidd.
Ooh. So I got Tim Cahill, but I think Warren was in first, but didn't hear who he said.
I was going to say Jason Keaton.
Jason Keaton. I think Warren's got to get it for Jason Keaton, hasn't he? Because that's a shout.
Unreal.
Favourite female character? This was one that I was really sort of thinking over 3 or 4, but I settled on Denise Royal from the Royal Family. I think the Royal Family is one of the most criminally underrated comedies, and I don't know about yourselves, but I watch it and I do that classic thing of going, that's like me, that's like us. But I think she's just brilliant in it. I think she's an absolutely perfect character in it. I think she's just hilarious in it. I think also as well, her, like the person, Carolina Hearn, I thought she was a brilliant comedy writer, comedy actor. And just the whole rivalry with Beverly Macker. I mean, for that in itself, she's the best fictional female character she had. I went for Denise Royal on the premise that she's a fantastic character, and it's my favourite comedy as well.
Yeah, there's a few that were underrated at the time. I think The Office kind of stole the limelight from things like Nights, The Royal Family, Early Doors as well. That's another absolute belter.
Early Doors is a brilliant, very, very underrated comedy, and that's a brilliant show as well, yeah.
That's Craig Cash, isn't it? Obviously, Carolina Hearn on the Royal Family. Good shout, very good shout. Kate, I'll come to you because you got Tim Cahill in there, so...
I've got to agree with Warren first off there, just to say that the best ever episode was when Denise gets married, because it's such an emotionally charged episode, where, and you can tell everyone's kind of waiting, as if Jim's got to have a line, hasn't he? You know what I mean? You're waiting for it, and then for her to come down the stairs in all the splendor and say, "Doesn't look shite?" was just the absolute lie. I've quoted that for years since as well. Absolutely incredible. And I feel as if I've done a disservice actually saying the same, but yeah, kids of the late 80s, early 90s, my favourite female character is April O'Neil of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame. Have you ever seen a woman carry off a yellow jumpsuit, man?
No chance.
That's why I wanted to be a journalist, April O'Neil.
What a polar opposite character to Denise Royal. April O'Neil. I was a massive Turtles fan as a kid, like the original cartoon, not this new one that they've got going on nowadays. And she was great. Oh, April, wasn't she? Channel 6 News, was it?
This is it. I haven't done Comic-Con with our Ellie for so many years. I've still never yet seen a really good April O'Neil. I've seen some efforts.
Have you never done it?
No. I've always worked the events, haven't I?
Tell you what, you need to do that. You'd absolutely smash that.
I braved Catwoman at the O2 or the XL or something in London, and I was just mortified having to walk back through central London looking like a shit Catwoman.
Do you know what? If I could make shit Catwoman the title of this.
They were all shit compared to Michelle Pfeiffer. Let's just say let's call it what it is. You know what I
mean? You can't call yourself a shit Catwoman based on the fact how good Michelle Pfeiffer looked.
Yeah.
So, I reckon you were a good Catwoman, just not Michelle Pfeiffer. Let's go with that.
Also, with some of the characters that stroll around London, I'm sure you probably didn't look too out.
I mean, I did run a Boris bike in Chelsea and just do a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, the one with the Battle of the Island. Matt?
You know what? In the picture, show you put on the tweet, you took the answer, because it probably would be Princess Leia. Because if I banged on about this so much, and I banged on about it when Carrie Fisher died. In 1977, Star Wars came out. It lost that on Best Picture to Annie Hall, and that annoys me. And I like Annie Hall as a film. In Annie Hall, Diane Keaton calls Woody Allen to come over to kill a spider for her in the middle of the night because she's scared of it. In Star Wars, when she's getting rescued from certain death, Carrie Fisher's response is, short ass. Hollywood was not ready for Carrie Fisher.
No.
Like, that character, I mean, it was at least 10, 15 years ahead of its time in how Hollywood was portraying women. And even going through the new ones now.
Yeah, it did flip the whole damsel in distress on its head, didn't it? He's been captured.
What was the line? Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper? Something similar.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, pure class.
Yeah.
Pure class.
It's even down to that gif I used, which is like my favourite Princess Leia thing in the whole thing, because it totally flips on its head the Empire Strikes Back bit, doesn't it? Where Han Solo does, where she goes, "I love you" to Han Solo, who goes, "I know," and then it just flips on its head, and it's amazing.
I'd live that line as well.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I think she is for me, definitely as well. One other one I thought of was Susie Green in Curb Your Enthusiasm. You will go a long way to find a better female than that. Absolutely brilliant.
I could do a full podcast on this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Peggy Brand out of The Mask. Do you remember The Mask with Jim Carrey? Peggy Brand, again, I'm sorry, was the journalist, but she literally totally sold them up to get the money to pay for a condo. Legend.
Yeah, because I've done a full podcast on this. Obviously, the story as well was International Women's Day. And do you know what? I noticed this year there didn't seem to be as many shouts about International Men's Day.
And I know, and it was quite refreshing actually, having worked for a women's organisation. It was actually quite refreshing. We were quite lucky in that we got Jackie Weaver on for our panel discussion on Monday, and honestly, she's amazing. Honestly, if we could serialise anything and have her and it just not taking any shit, it would probably be Jackie Weaver for sure.
Program idea: Jackie Weaver takes no shit, and then insert place or off someone.
It's like those bailiff shows on Channel 5. They just send Jackie Weaver around instead.
Jackie Weaver will take your fridge. Right, next one. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Right, Everton players at the ready. The best or worst own goal?
John Bailey.
He's definitely getting a picture in his hat. Go on then, mate. Do you know what the story is? It's a bit of a... It's
Paul Godfrey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah. Conceding the same own goal.
I know. I was in a meeting in work on Tuesday, and I was sort of half paying attention, half doing my own work and that. And one of the guys said, "Yeah, we need to make sure that our two reports are consistent. We don't want to put any own goals in there, do we, Matt?" And it didn't tweet till about 15 seconds later that he's a Chelsea fan.
Oh no!
I was just like, you know what, very good, fair play.
Glad you kept on there, mate.
Yeah.
But then, what's the best or worst own goal?
Well, best and worst, because I am quite sympathetic to him. It's got to be the poor Mr. Vaughan for Sunderland, because he just looked so dejected, didn't he? And it was it was just a sensational own goal, like the stumble and everything about it in front of the away ends, like the pure limbs behind the goal sending us to Wembley. But I just felt so sorry for him straight away, and to this day I still do. He's just got one of them faces, hasn't he?
He doesn't look like a footballer, does he?
No, not at all.
And he sort of stumbles it into the back of the net like that's a hell of a shout, that I've got to say. Warren?
I've got, so for the best one, I don't know if you remember, it was a few years back. I think it was an FA Cup tie, and I think I might have it right. If I've got this wrong, then I'm sure someone will correct us afterwards. But I think it was Darlington, and the cross has come in, and he's gone to defend. It's at the back post, and the defender's gone to volley it away, like hook the ball away. And as he's hooked it, it's hit his head and then gone back of the net. And I can't remember what's it. That was the funniest. I think if you search any own goal compilation on YouTube, that's always like the funniest or number one funniest own goal.
Darlington too, where the home side were hoping to push their playoff claim. A freakish own goal from Chris Brass got them going. Ronaldinho, watch and learn.
The worst was, it's 2 for the price of 1 for the worst. I was there that day as well. Roberto Martinez season, 2013-14, I think probably the best season I've witnessed football quality-wise as an Evertonian. And we did have that feeling a bit like this year where we might get Champions League. It looked like at one stage, even in April, we were going to get it. We travelled down to Southampton, who were not doing very well at the time, thinking we're going to get the 3 points, get us on our way to 4th. And then Antolin Alcaraz and Seamus Coleman double own goal that makes us lose down at St Mary's. Grim on toast. And it was really frustrating as well because we had such a good day. It was a boiling hot day and we had a really good day out down there. And them 2 own goals just absolutely cost us anything really, any momentum that we had going into the last few games. So I'd go for them as my worst own goals.
Cracking shouts. What a terrible day. What a terrible end to that.
Yeah, anticlimactical.
Exactly. Kate?
Away ones are definitely worse, I think. Oh, especially if you've travelled. Maybe not so much if you're watching it, but and you've got really, really long memories. But I've just realised that when you were there and you actually like see it rather than just watching it on the telly, you take it a bit more personally, don't you? I am going to say Luca Dean, Brighton Everton. October time, and giving them the 3-2 winner in the 90th minute. And the worst of it is you can see because he's flat out basically on the pitch with his head down when he realises what's happened. But you can see that even as soon as he's hit it, he knows, and he's just literally look like it's a sniper version, and he's flat out on the deck, and it's because he's boss. I think that it's worse.
Yeah.
So cringy.
There was nothing he could do, was there? And what was more frustrating about that game as well was that was the one when we had the penalty that was never a penalty given against us. And that was another game I was at, and it was completely the opposite to Southampton game. It was pouring down. We were all wet, and it was that wasn't a nice one to witness and be a part of.
Yeah, I think that was the day we all realised as well that Marco Silva is the unluckiest manager ever. Yeah. You know, he may not have been up to the job ultimately, but he was so unlucky as well. He had some terrible luck at Everton.
He'll always be the manager that carries that little bit of sympathy with us all, isn't he? Yeah. Because he was so unlucky.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? We probably would never have had Richarlison if it wasn't for him. So maybe you'd have to go through this shit. You know, we are where we are and we're all relatively happy now. So maybe we've got to go through 20 odd years of absolute pain to have,
a couple of decades. It's not.
It's nothing, is it?
Not for us.
That's an era. Not 8 months under Roy Hodgson.
Oh, so much shame.
Oh God. Anyway, let's not go down that road. We'll go on to Ask Us Anything now. First question is a question that we got on Patreon from 1781. The question's not from 1781, but is.
I was going to say, bloody hell.
I don't know.
That's a long listener to Mailbag, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
It feels like it's been going on that long.
It's from just this episode. It's from Martin McFly, clearly. Question. I love this. Favourite retro football shirt, both Everton and non-Everton. And there's another part of the question as well. Kate, I'll come to you first.
Oh, my favourite one, non-Everton. Oh God, I'm really sorry. You might have to correct me, and you'll know straight away. Newcastle away. That was the claret and blue stripes with the brown ale or whatever it was in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, with the granddad collar.
Absolute cream shorts as well.
Oh my God, it was an absolute peach of a shirt. And that will probably answer my second part of that question as well, because I would probably have that framed, given that growing up I went to St James's Park because my dad's Geordie, so we used to go to St James's Park and we'd watch the team training at Durham University.
Oh, yeah.
I was always surprised at how little Kevin Keegan was. He's really small or far away. Never quite worked that out. Everton wise, I don't know. Although what I will say is that I saw a taxi because I went out the house this week. It was amazing. A Kazoo taxi was in the third kit colours, and it was absolutely sensational. Honest to God. So it's like the kind of the greeny, minty kind of greeny colour on the top, and then the bottom half was the grey, and then Kazoo written in like the kind of like weird kind of orangey colour. And it may as well have been a limousine. It was absolutely first class. Like, it looks great. Can I say retro if it started this season?
We can have it.
But it'll soon be retro, won't it? The way they churn out kits nowadays.
Well, there is that. We've only got a few months left, haven't we? So I'm at that. It really does. I just think, like, I know we were all a little bit apprehensive about Hummel, and like as much as I've tried to push, like, that some of their stuff is quite nice. it does definitely err on alternative, doesn't it? But I think that they've smashed the kits this year. I think they're all fantastic.
Yeah, training gear and everything. It's all brilliant.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and badges don't seem to be falling off anymore, so that's good. Sorry, the second part of this question is: anyone got a Holy Grail shirt they wish they had, or you wish you got but you haven't got? Warren.
But the favourite Everton one, going back to that, I've got at home the 66 Cup Final long sleeve plain blue one, and I've also got the 84 Cup Final retro shirt, and I'm saving them for when we get to Wembley, so I haven't worn them for a while. But I do like them. But then in terms of actual favourite old Everton kit, I think I'm just going to be a bit boring here. The first kit, my first sort of year watching Everton in 1993, the first game I went to, we had the NEC Umbro. Yeah. That was the year we stayed up, and then the following year we went on to win the cup. That was my favourite kit, just because it was the first one I remember when I was a kid.
It's one of my
so go for that. Yeah, it's just. Do you know what? This might be a bit controversial. I don't think we've had massively great home kits in the last 20 odd 30 years. Anyway, that's another topic. In terms of retro kits that I wish I had, I'm going to go for the Argentina second kit that was worn in the 86 and 90 World Cups. The sort of like dark blue. So you got the light blue and the white stripes, but the dark blue Maradona. But I've also been on the hunt for. I've got a big soft spot for Scotland as a country and as a footballing country, and I've been after the retro Scotland mid-90s away kit. And if you go on one of the websites which sell them, they're like £200. And I'm not wearing that.
Is that the white one with the design across there, the pink?
Yeah, it's white and it's got like a pink, yellow, black sort of zigzaggy type design on. And talking about it, describing it, if you've never seen it, that probably sounds terrific, but it actually looks just so quintessentially 90s that I want it. But I'm not going to part with £250 for it. No. So it's not happening. But if I had to pick one, I'd have that one.
Yeah, it was from the Umbro 90s kit designers on acid phase, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was the wildest football kit you've ever seen.
It was very the words TFI Friday type kit, wasn't it? That sort of era.
Were the shorts purple with that same design on them?
They were purple, with white socks, and then I think they had like the keeper kit as well. The keeper kit was lovely because it was like a purpley kit as well. Mate,
that is sensational. That.
You're all googling it now. It is, isn't it? Really nice. Yeah.
I'll put a picture up of that on YouTube. Scotland away. Make a note of that. Matt.
I've got to say the same as Warren for the Everton kit. It's probably the first kit I had, which is probably the one after you're describing, the Danker one. So if we could get like a framed retro one of them, it's not a collector's item at all, but that's just the one for me, I'd say. And for non-Everton, I've got a proper soft spot for I know like this will probably get me cancelled in England, but sod them. The Germany 1990 kit with that like sort of zigzaggy.
Yeah. Oh, Matt's frozen.
We lost Matt. Do you know what? It's a nice thing though. The retro kits have really come in as fashionable, haven't they? They really are like a fashion thing now, and to the point where you go into like one of the big, like JD or somewhere, and they actually market selling the old. I mean, I'm not a huge international football fan, but the one England kit I have always liked is the Euro '96 one. Just plain, simple, to the point, and it is very iconic. And then, that's it. It's having a retro football shirt now is very fashionable.
Les, what was the link that you posted in the group a little while ago? And we were looking at some of like was it the American Soccer League or something?
Oh yeah, the NASL. The North
American
Soccer
League,
God. Yeah.
Some of them are absolutely belter.
Some of that merchandise is
Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yeah, yes. And like, oh my God, what were they called? Oh,
the Washington ones.
The Washington.
Was it?
I'll have to have a look.
They had some cracking gear. Yeah, well, I've got a wardrobe full of all my old Everton shirts from the 90s. So I've got the two that Warren and Matt are talking about there. My favourite one's probably the salmon pink away. Now handed to Jay, and he's not had it off his back since I gave him it, which is amazing. My non-Everton one's probably this Flamengo one, which I nicked off my dad years ago. And Holy Grail, got loads. Silver 85 away, the Everton one. And Adidas Boca Juniors one.
Oh, Bocha make nice kits. Always
late
had nice
70s,
kits.
early 80s.
Yeah.
86 Argentina, same as you, weren't home or away. They were made by Lecoq and they were absolutely outstanding.
Oh, amazing.
There's a nice 85 Fiorentina shirt made by Nicola Cuglia. It's purple, but it's got like a big white band across with opal in it and red collars. It's so nice. That was when Socrates played for Fiorentina. And pick any France shirt from the last 30 years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You and your France shirt.
Oh, God.
Do you know what? Going off slightly off topic a little bit. I mentioned in one of the other shows that we've done on the Blue Room about how I'm a massive baseball fan. And once a year in baseball, one sort of weekend, they do retro weekends. And they will play in the old school baseball uniforms. I don't know why the Premier League can't do retro weekends where all the clubs pick a retro kit and for one weekend they play in that kit and then that can get auctioned off or a charity or whatever. They can fill the club store with it and the club stores can sell them. It's a merchandise money spinner and I just think it's a nice little touch and it'd be and then like all the TV networks do all the old like intros and everything else for their shows, and I just thought the old Sky intro for Sky Sports doing that for one weekend.
Get in.
I think it'd be something. Yeah, I think it'd be something brilliant to do.
We'll be on teletext looking for the results.
Yeah, CFAX page 302. Yeah.
Les, it was the Washington Diplomats.
Diplomats.
Right, and
what a name.
Their logo, right, has got a footy on it with a top hat and a cane.
Amazing. Yeah, there is some cracking gear on that site, isn't there?
Brilliant. I'm definitely getting t-shirts. I think they're brilliant.
Just on that retro weekend, remember Man City and Man United did one game? Was it
it was for them
or something?
Yeah, it was. It was like 50 years or something, wasn't it? And they both wore. And Man United had just a plain red with the white. Yeah. And well, Everton, the kit we wore pre-season, the very first kit we had.
That was the kit that year.
That was the best ever kit we've had.
I actually bought the full kit. I've never worn it all together, but I bought the shirt because it's amazing. The shorts are so nice as well, like really quality, that good fit and everything. So just thought buy the socks as well. I do only wear it at weekends. Jack has asked, what's your worst ever footballing shout? One Everton, one non-Everton. Matt, come to you first on this because you're pulling a face like
God. Take your pick. I think one that was mentioned in our chat yesterday was when we all thought that Jelavic was better than Luis Suarez, and to be fair, for that season he was
100%.
Yeah. Where's football shout? Yeah, I mean, I've had a few down the years, but because people are going to say about players, aren't they going to say about I thought this player was great or I thought this player was shite and stuff. But
yeah,
I'm such a soft touch. Like I have hope in all of our players. So I think, yeah, it was that one that we had. Hennen, was it David Hennen?
Hennen, yeah.
I thought he was going to be something. Every single 6 months or so, I'd be like, he's gonna play a game.
He was always in the background, wasn't he? And you think when he gets a game, he's going to be amazing.
We never got a work permit, did he, or something like that? It was something like that.
No, that was on your Kuru, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Hennen was the same, that we loaned him out forever, didn't we?
Yeah.
He was the classic France under 21 next to Nelka. And we were all hyped him up, and then nothing really happened. He was with us for about 8 years as well, wasn't he? With us for ages. Yeah.
On for his testimonial. Have you got a non-Everton bad shout?
Non-Everton bad shout. It's probably Harry Kane, isn't it? It's a common one. We all thought Harry Kane was a one-season wonder, and it's been the longest season ever.
Literally everyone thought that, though, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just scary, isn't it? And on the other side of the coin is everyone thought, okay, we were wrong about Harry Kane, so obviously Dele Alli's going to be the tits, and as you know,
I suppose the thing with Harry Kane is he went out on loan to about 9 different clubs, didn't he? Only got on the Tottenham team, I think, by virtue of an injury or something. So it does show when we're sending players out on loan left, right, and centre, and you're like, he's never going to be good enough. We've had it with Calvert-Lewin, haven't we? Players can just come good. if the circumstances are right for them. I think they were for Harry Kane. So there's hope for Stuart Barlow yet, which is my and he would one day play for England. Kate?
Worst Everton shout is absolutely every single person who's written Tom Davies off. You can get in the bin, frankly. See you later. Sorry, you can get in the bin. And whilst I'm not put out at the thought of or the prospect of him potentially going on loan short term, which might, prove to be a positive exercise. And I think Carlo sees something in him as well. And I just think it's I don't know, we're just so quick, aren't we? And we're so friggin' impatient. The fact that there were calls before Christmas for Carlo out. You're like, give your head a wobble, please. He's a young lad with a lot of promise, and I will hold my hands up and say that he's homegrown, he's one of ours, he's a top lad off the pitch, so therefore we all friggin' love him. But I genuinely think that there's more there, and I think that we're wrong to write him off. So that's a bit of a shit shout. Outside of Everton, but includes Everton, the worst footballing shout, as far as I was concerned, was Project Restart. It wasn't important for the footy to come back when it did. It wasn't important to put people's lives at risk for the sake of getting them back to finish a load of games before the break and then pre-season. It wasn't important.
No.
And I kind of worked myself hoarse talking about it because it affected me personally, and I think it was wrong. But here we are, and we're doing all right, so never mind.
And by extension as well, I think you've got to look at international football now. There's no place for it at the minute. It shouldn't be getting played.
No.
And if only for the players' welfare. If nothing else, it just seems completely balmy that they're playing all these games, no rest time. They haven't had a proper pre-season. There's a viral spreading. It just seems ridiculous. Yeah, we did on that. Warren?
So I kind of misread or sort of understood this question, because when it said worst Everton or best Everton shouts, I thought it meant shout from the crowd. So I initially...
Nothing from the park end. Not from the park end at all.
That's the one.
I just initially, my mind just straight away went to, for fuck's sake, Sadibi, that's your man, get over. And then the other one was 220 million to watch fucking shite. So that was where my head went. But obviously, you meant what you three have just talked about. So, worst Everton shout. I made a bet following the first Martinez season with a Chelsea friend of mine that we'd finish above them and we'd finish in Champions League places and get top three. I think we finished 11th that season, didn't we? So that was well and truly a 20 quid that I was never ever going to get back. And still to this day, this has kind of like got a bit of traction on Twitter as well, but still to this day, I'm convinced that if Billy Letternoff was played as a number 10, he would have been the greatest number 10 we've ever seen in a blue shirt. Probably they're my two worst shouts. Footballing wise, as I say, because I've got the question, misread the question, I haven't really thought about it. Footballing wise, I'd probably go along with similar to what probably Nick, similar to idea what you said there, Kate, but the whole Super League and the thing what Liverpool and Man United got into bed with each other about the
big picture.
Project Big Pit, whatever it was called, that nonsense. And then now the 39th game's just come to my head and things like that. So I think these things, these ideas where people who are in charge of football who don't know what it's like to go to a match and just think with money rather than with sort of, our best interests. I think them sorts of ideas are always the worst shouts, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%.
Les, obviously, we've got to say that surely declaring a league win in November on Football Focus, which keeps getting shown every fucking weekend, has got to be the worst ever Everton show.
I stand by it.
I'm so gutted. Why did you let me say that?
Have you ever tried stopping you from talking?
No longer my fellow DJ. We're over.
Impossible. At least they haven't played it several times on national telly.
No, it's not like every family member has messaged me and just gone, "You're on the telly again." Oh, sound. Thanks.
And you're still not winning the league, by the way. At that point, we definitely were. We 100% were. Mark Ellison was going to see a DJ in Amelie Lens Oh, the DJ's called Amelie Lens. Amelie's not a place by lands. Anyway, in the summer, hopefully counts a gig, or is it a musical event?
I'm confused by the whole thing, but I'm just going to say gig, music, innit?
Yeah, it's a gig.
What?
It's a gig. I think it's just a bit of a humble brag, isn't it?
Go ahead, Mark.
Could well
Getting your
be.
groove on and that.
I think at this point, if anyone can get to anything that resembles entertainment with groups of people, it can be whatever the hell you want it to be called. Because at the minute, I think we're just all dying to get out, aren't we, and have a bit of fun, all of us. So, gig, musical event, whatever you want to call it, just let's hope we can get to them sooner rather than later. Eh?
Live your life.
Speaking of which, anyone's next gigs that they're hopeful of getting to? We've already had 2 cancelled this year.
I haven't even bothered, as you know, because of that, for that exact reason.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Have you got any coming up after? When is Fontaine's?
I think.
February now, next year.
I think it will be moved. Yeah, I don't think it's been announced yet, but it will be. So the next one for me is actually I was supposed to be seeing Courting in May, but that'll be moved as well.
Yeah,
that's meant to be a phase 1, so it'll be the Coral in September. It'll be the next one.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to see Deacon Blue in November, but I didn't get tickets. It sold out, and I was hoping to do the thing of get a spare on the night or get a StubHub type thing. But I don't even know if it's been cancelled. But hopefully, it's around my birthday, and then so hopefully I'll be seeing them in November. But just have to wait and see.
I saw. Did you see? Do any of you follow like Festhole or whatever it's called on Twitter, where people sending confessions on the sly? And some fella put one in this week, and it was like, I'm absolutely desperate to get to a gig because the last one I went to was Boyzone with my wife, and she's just left me, so I don't want that to be the last gig. I'm sorry for laughing. It's just dead funny.
That's heavy, man. Ellie's asked best in brackets your fave crisps. Warren, I agree with you. The skips are shite.
Skips are awful. I had the bag yesterday. They're just not an hardy. The baby's crisps, aren't they? You give them to a toddler.
Frazzle butties, on the other hand, are an absolute revelation. Keith chipped in with Thai sweet chili sensations and the best potato variant. Potato variant, I like that.
Variant. He's a potato variant.
New spare rib, because we are including maize-based snacks and the like in this. Them new spare rib cracker things they do though are on a whole other level. So Warren, since you weighed in with the right opinion on skips, what are your favourite crisps?
Wrong.
It's a tough one. I go through phases with crisps. I'm like 1 minute I'm just dying for a bag of flaming hot Monster Munch, and then the next minute I'm into tubs of Pringles, tubs of salt and vinegar Pringles. Do you know what? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go a bit renegade. I'm gonna do a bit of a Keith Tomlin and go a bit renegade. But I think instead of favourite crisps, I'll give you my favourite flavour, and I think Worcester sauce. I think you can't beat a bag of Worcester sauce crisps.
That's a good shout.
Good shout.
Very underrated. Kate, seeing as you're wrong about skips, I'll come to you next.
You're writing off the fact that skips are the best no effort crisp. You don't even have to chew them; you just disappear. That's like it's the ultimate lazy snack. Skips and quavers are the one.
I want a bit of a challenge when you eat a crisp. Do you know what I mean?
Geez. You're in the potato variant group. You don't get an opinion anymore.
Don't you hate it though when the potato variant sort of breaks in your mouth and it stabs you in the gut?
Oh my god, kettle chips and stuff.
So you don't get that with skips?
You don't get that with skips, no.
There's no danger. They are no danger crisps. That's
no danger
old school. I used to love giving myself the worst blisters ever with salt and vinegar discos. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
And you'd lick the salt and vinegar off them and then not be able to taste anything for about a week afterwards. But it was so worth it. And then spicy or ribbon saucy knickknacks are the one.
Yeah, they are a belter.
One.
Shout.
Yeah, there we go.
About them. Matt?
I'm here to defend skips as well. I think it's dead wrong about them.
Welcome to Wrongville, you two.
But they're not my favourite though. And you saying about babies crisps or kids crisps. I'm quite partial to Pom Bears. Most people won't touch them because they're meant to be for kids, but you know what? They're actually lovely.
They are decent.
But for me, anything in a pub really. You get them like mad jalapeno ones, don't you? That you rip open on the pub table and that. Anything in the pub, usually decent.
Warren,
the Irish ones have potatoes, which are alright.
Potatoes are amazing. If I eat flaming hot Monster Munch, I have to have like a pint of milk or a block of cheese afterwards because they're so hot.
Really? Do you find them that hot? Like, see, I
like
find
curry.
I find
Block
them
of
really.
cheese.
I find them really mild. When I was in the States, they do like chili Cheetos. They're like Wotsits, but chili and they are incredibly spicy. I've never had any. Like I would have had to have water and milk with that, but flaming hot, I find them quite tame. I'd rather them be spicier.
Flaming hot and a Muller corner to just cool your mouth down.
What a combo that is, hey?
Right insight, yeah.
Case
Which Muller corner though? Biscuit or fruit Muller corner?
Cherry, mate. Cherry one.
Good shout into yogurt chat. Ski yogurt's really nice.
Yeah, I have it every day.
I like that as well.
Yeah, same on my Weetabix. It's good. Kate, how do you have Weetabix, by the way?
Well, you'll be gutted now when I pure guilt trip you now because I can't have it anymore because it actually makes me sick. However, I was brought up in the northeast where we get proper snow and it's proper cold, so don't even be throwing shade at me. Where my mum would put 2 Weetabix in a bowl, boiling hot water out the kettle, and a splash of milk and a ton of sugar. You good to go.
It's not baked beans on Weetabix, is it? So it'll pass.
Exactly.
Also lived in a cave, really. Laura has asked, on a similar note, what's the deal? And she goes very Seinfeld with this. What's the deal with hash brown waffles? Should this be a thing? Should these two worlds have collided, or should they have been kept apart? Discuss. On this one as well. I'll allow it. Iceland do hash brown fries in their boss, so I'm all for more potato-based snack collaboration.
Well, potato variant. That's
is good
his
of
name
him.
from now on.
It is, yeah. Keeps allowing it.
I'll allow it. That's good of him.
You know what, with all the...
Wicked.
Sorry, go on.
Go on,
I
mate,
was just going to say, with all the chat of all the COVID variants, I never thought we'd be discussing potato variants, but here we are.
Matt, go ahead then. What are your thoughts on a hash brown waffle?
Well, nothing. I assume we're talking about like potato waffles
Yeah.
rather than like sweet
Hash brown with holes in it.
Yeah, I mean, they're both potato. It's just one's like creamy mashed potato and one's shredded potato. So why not?
Yeah.
They sound delicious if I get some.
Okay.
Yeah, I think hash browns always cook better. Do you not reckon?
The waffles.
I think hash browns cook better than waffles.
Can you toast them?
I'll give it a go.
Warren?
I think if you're in the potato waffle community, you're very well sort of cared for by having your hash brown in a potato waffle style. And at the same token, if you are in the hash brown community, then you've also got, you still got your hash brownness in your potato variant meal. So I don't think there's really, I think happy days for everyone all involved. And then if you still want a potato waffle, you can have it. If you still want a hash brown, you can have it. I don't see the controversy myself.
I like the inclusivity of all that.
Yeah.
Just get along. I think we need to get Hannah Farrell's opinion on this.
She is the potato variant queen.
My thing with these hash brown waffles, it's the price for me. If they're the same price as a bag of hash, there's literally no point because you're getting less hash brown.
Yeah, they look better on your Instagram picture, but yeah.
Yeah, you would. That's that one sorted. Dan Vane, who I wish would have been here for the football shirt chat because he would have just shown us every single football shirt.
Oh, amazing.
That's an extensive collection. He's asked, you've been involved in an industrial accident. Your hand is nothing but bloody mince. You have 2 donor limbs, 1 Piers Morgan's foot, 2 a genetically engineered hand that has permanently given it the wanker gesture. For no reason whatsoever. Kate, I'll come to you first on this.
Oh my God, the latter. I'm not having anything to do with Piers Morgan. Not in the slightest. Definitely the latter. And I would make the most of it. I'd go on national telly. I'd go on TikTok. I'd go viral, and I'd absolutely hammer it. I'm sorry.
Warren, dig us out of this, go ahead.
Can you just repeat that again? Because I got a little bit lost halfway. What's the question? What am I being asked?
So your hand's gone, right?
Right, hand's gone.
It's a stump, right? So you can have grafted onto it and placed that hand, Piers Morgan's foot, genetically engineered hand that has permanently given it the wanker gesture.
So just permanently that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for you.
I assume it's also moving as well.
It's good for the match, isn't it? When you're at away fans like that, opposition fans. So, I've got to be that. I mean, I think no further comment, Your Honour, on that.
Matt? Could have gone down a rabbit hole with this, couldn't we? Matt?
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that, doesn't it? Because like you can at least still use it as an actual hand.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You can't
like
do
a human soda stream.
Sorry, for those of you who don't watch this on
say.
YouTube, when Matt said you can still use it, he did hold up a bottle of water and drink. So for those of you who are not watching on YouTube, when he said you can still use it, that's what he meant.
And for those of you watching on Pornhub, strap in.
Buckle up, bitches. Amazing.
Yeah, that's one for our subscription service, I think. Moving on. Oh, God, it's not really moving on. This could just get worse from now on. Makosh has asked, if you had control over the next stage of human evolution, what one aspect of the body would you change? Could be adding or removing something, or altering an existing body part. Warren, I know you've given this one a lot of thought. So
well, I'm actually going to steal an idea. I don't know if I heard this on a previous mailbag a while back, like a year or two back, or if I've just heard this randomly in another sort of podcast or whatever it was. But somebody suggested an eye on your finger, so you could peer over and look over things, and like if you were struggling to see, you just like you get your eye on your finger, just sort of like have a look around. And if you're driving, for instance, and your mirrors aren't working, just stick your finger out. Just have a look behind you, see what's behind you. If you're parking, you don't want to crash. So it's not my idea to hold my hands up, but I'd go for an eye in your fingers or one of your fingers, so you could see round corners and that sort of thing. So
that makes a lot of sense.
I think I've broken Kate with that answer, by the way.
Her Wi-Fi's fine, but she's broken.
Imagine if you were picking your nose. Oh God, stop it.
Yeah, and how would you see?
Stop it.
Just darkness, wouldn't it? Just be, but you could. It'd just be like, I don't know. I mean, I suppose you could transfer close your eyes, and then that automatically sort of opens up your finger eye. I don't know. That's
you're there driving, and you just like look up there. Like...
Would you not be like, sorry, mate?
Well, thing is, as a teacher as well, if I'm writing on the board and there's talking going on behind me, and I can just go, who's that talking? And I can look to see who it is. So from that point of view, it'll help me as well.
I think Warren's just completely nailed evolution there. This has got to happen at some point. Matt?
One of my biggest, like, Larry David bugbears, it's sunburn. Like, I'd get rid of sunburn. I just think it's just every year it really pisses me off that my genetic line comes from Northern Europe, like most of us. So how come when you go outside during the summer, your skin turns purple, blisters, and you get cancer and die? What kind of like evolution is that? I'm not doing anything extreme or special. I'm just going outside. Like, did hunter-gatherer just hide for 6 months of the year or something so they didn't die at age 30? I just don't get it at all. Like, that is an argument against intelligent design right there.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Good show.
Even get that hot here, so
exactly. It's just, and like the sun hasn't got bigger. No. Like, obviously you got climate change in that, but that doesn't affect the amount of, well, not as much of like UV rays and stuff. It just really pisses me off every year. So why should I put fucking cream on every year just to not die?
Do you go dead red and then dead brown though? Or do you go dead red and then peel?
I did go dead brown last year, yeah. But I was out in Prince's Park with Ed Makosh on like the solstice in June, and I didn't have any cream on at all day. Actually, he went to Tesco and brought some back, but I had bronzer in, so I wouldn't put it on. And I blistered that bad that my hair was sticking to my head.
Oh God!
First world problems there.
my worst sunburn effort ever was in Florida when I was 15. Sure, I told this story before. Oh, where's the cat? There he is.
Hi, Bailey.
There it is. For anyone listening, I didn't do anything bad to the cat. Then I just picked him up.
Totally said he's just been lashed across the living room.
Yeah, I was in. No, my mum and dad had gone off in a water park somewhere, and I was just sunbathing there. It was getting hot, so I was reaching into the bag to get the sun cream out, and I was actually putting sun oil on instead.
Oh no!
Oh. Cooking myself, thinking I was putting sun cream on.
Oh,
yeah, intense that.
Horrible.
Okay, we've had eye fingers, no sunburn, Where are you going with this?
Wings. We could literally save the planet if we could fly. We wouldn't need cars. We wouldn't need all the other modes of transport that are literally killing the planet. You'd never have to be pissed off about never being able to park, or about the fact that fuel prices have gone up, or the state of the M62, etc. We could just fly. I mean, there'd probably be shed loads more collisions because people would fly drunk, etc. So we'd maybe have to have something in there that was like, if you weren't at your best, your wings wouldn't work. You know what I mean? There'd have to be some rules. But if we could fly, it would be epic.
What?
You think, though, that in the same way that if you walked 10 miles and you get really tired, if you've flown a certain amount, you get really tired. So you would need to revert back to using a car or transport.
No, you just have to recharge, yeah.
You'd have people dropping off the sky, definitely.
You can't get in a car if you've got wings. Everybody would have to drive like a minibus or something.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah, no, I think from an environmental point of view, having wings would be massively helpful. I'm just considering the idea that maybe you might get tired, like, as if you could just fly and glide. I mean, gliding with wings, that'd take you off, right, wouldn't it? So I suppose,
exactly.
Yeah.
Windy days, everyone's going to be on time.
You will get that thing though, wouldn't you, where you're like, oh, I'm nearly home, I can make this. Gone.
Yeah.
How many people do you reckon would end up in the Mersey? You live on the Wirral.
We put up a big net.
Yeah, I'd definitely get caught in a gust of wind and end up in the Irish Sea. Definitely.
Amazing.
Oh, well, I'm going to vibe a bit here with our last question. I normally open with Foxy's question, but I saved it for last today, and it's an Everton one because I want to end on some red hot soccer chat. So Foxy said, Everton to offer Gylfi Sigurdsson a new contract in the summer. Paulo Ancelotti said we are going to talk to him to renew the contract. If he is happy to stay here, we are happy to keep him here. Do you agree with Carlo? Is this the most surprising thing of the last 12 months? Warren, what do you reckon?
We've always heard, haven't we, that he rates him and he really likes him, Carlo. And I've been sort of in the Gylfi fan club and not in the Gylfi fan club, sort of flip-flopping between the two. I just think I think the West Brom game just sort of highlighted that if we need that little bit of something in a game like that, he's the type of person to bring on. And listen, I know sometimes a team sheet comes up and we question it, and in the end we're proven wrong because we've got a 3-time European Cup winning manager. I think if he wants him to an extent, it doesn't really matter what we all think because it's Carlo knows what he's doing. So I know he frustrates people. I think the thing with Gylfi though is I think when we play well, he's not highlighted, and when we play bad, he's the scapegoat. And every team's got one. Every team has that player who is the scapegoat. He is ours unfortunately for him. But if Carlo wants him, I think at the end of the day, we've just got to accept that and support it and back it. And at the end of the day, goes onto the pitch and wears a blue shirt. Anyone who does that is all right in my book. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, I think he's always been hampered by that £45 million price tag, hasn't he? Which was nothing to do with him. That was a previous regime at the club, but it's something that's hamstrung him. So when he's not allowed to play that game. And I know he's had several, particularly last season, but it just feels like he gets cut no slack because of that, which is pretty unfair, really. Kate, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree with Warren wholeheartedly there. The whole in Carlo we trust. And I think his run of form more recently has been incredible. It's just been amazing seeing so many people talk about him because he's been one of the standout performances more recently. And I think longevity wise, when we're looking towards the end of the season, off the pitch, his missus is due to have a baby very, very soon. And whilst it's what happens in football is that they're traded like meat, essentially. But there will still be a factor there of wanting to have some stability as well. I think if he's offered a contract and he's happy to take it, I'd be happy to keep him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Matt.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. He's a useful squad player, if nothing else. We've been pretty deadly from set pieces this season. So, like I said about Tom Davis 6 months ago, not every single player in the squad has to be the first name in the first 11. Some players are just there to make up the numbers or impact, and that's fine. Look at Tom now; he is one of the first names on the team sheet when he's fit. So yeah, obviously the years are against him, unlike Tom. But I mean, I don't see the point in manufacturing an injury crisis in this position just by getting shut of him because a couple of people don't like him.
Yeah,
I think as well, if we're all getting the European football we're looking for, we're going to need a big squad, aren't we? And he's the type of player you can bring on in them group games, if it is Europa League or whatever it is, that will do a job for us in the midweek and get us a result or swing that free kick on that corner in. So, yeah, I'm with all of you there.
Yeah, and I think Hammers has shown he's not going to play all season, is he? He's just not playing him. So if you've got a replacement who, although not as good at set pieces, is probably the next best thing on set pieces, you can't just throw that away because he came with a £45 million price tag and hasn't really done we all hoped he would, i.e. scored a free kick for a start. But I think it would be silly to sell him at this stage, really, when you probably wouldn't get much for him. As Matt said, he can still do a job in his right position as well. Because
it's like somebody hasn't taken the tag off his shirt and he's literally walking around with the tag on going, fucking hell, look how much we paid for this.
Yeah.
You must feel the weight of the world on his shoulders when the majority fan base is like that.
Yeah.
Awful.
It would have been so different, wouldn't it, if we'd just paid normal going rate for him of like, what, 27 million.
Well, Carlo's inherited, isn't it?
Price for him.
Yeah.
So we all agree it's fine.
Yeah, year or two at best. That'll do us.
It's right. Enjoyed that. That's all for this week's mailbag. Thanks for sharing your Saturday morning. Thanks to Kate, thanks to Matt, thanks to Warren, thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We will catch you next time on Mailbag.